Hi, I'm Frank Cowell. I'm excited to share this clip with you from a Content Marketing Bootcamp that I ran recently. This clip is on figuring out your max Coca, cost of customer acquisition. This is the most important number that every marketer should know for their organization. In this clip, I'll walk you through exactly how to figure it out. Check it out and let me know what you think.
So I want to help you guys develop your Coca, your max Coca. You guys familiar with this phrase, Coca? Anybody? Okay. So this is a number that, as marketers, for your organization, you have to know cold. You just have to know it. Your executives, especially CEO, CFO, should absolutely know this number cold. Because you have to know how much of the average customer value you're willing to give up, give away towards acquiring them, right? So for example, hypothetically, if your ideal average customer was sitting here and I said, hey, you can have them, how much will you give me? How much will you just give me to get them and they automatically become a client spending the average amount, the ideal amount with you? So that number is the maximum cost of acquisition you're willing to accept. Does that make sense? So that cost of acquisition is what we have to understand so we know to budget everything around it. So if you guys don't know that number for your organization, there's a little exercise you can go through here. So you either know it cold, which I would hope you do, but if you don't, that's okay. There's a little exercise to go through to determine lifetime value and what percentage of that lifetime value you're willing to give up. Does anybody here know their max Coca off the top of their head? Know what you're willing to write a check for immediately to gain your... Okay, doesn't want to share, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Don't want to share it, that's cool. So you guys hear that? $3,000. I love that because now we're going to be able to use that and work backwards to understand how we fund a campaign that's based off of acquisition, right? And so that's one of the things that we'll bring up later is that one of the big challenges with marketing budgets is they're not based on anything. They're just kind of based off some 1 to 5% of revenues. They're not based on acquisition. So we're going to use this number to help you guys develop budgets that are based on acquiring the number of customers, clients, students that you want in your organization. So if you don't know that number, and I'm glad you guys know your numbers, I know my number, we're going to go through this right now and we're going to help you guys figure that out. So write down the average purchase per customer for one-time purchasers. So if your business is built upon one-time purchasers, then, or you have a percentage of your business that's a one-time purchaser, what is that average purchase price? What do they spend on average if they buy from you one time? Is it $10,000? Is it $100,000? Is it $5,000? If you're a consumer product, is it $100? So let's say you've got that number there. And then what percentage of your business is a single purchase kind of customer, like a one and done, right? What percentage of your business? Is it 10% of your business? Is it 100% of your business? What percentage of your business is just a one-time purchase? And so do the same thing for the recurring purchase. So if you're in a business where your customer actually can purchase again and again from you, either on contract or because they tend to just repeat business with you. So maybe they go back to the village, a certain percentage of people go back to the village, once every 6 months. And they do that 10 times over the course of their lifetime. So what does that equal? Okay, so you're going to have to do a little math here. Hopefully you're all good at math, or you have iPhones that can help you be good at math. What you want to do is you want to calculate that average purchase value times the frequency. So what percentage of your customer base is that? You want to add to that the value of the percentage of your customer base that is a repeat customer, right? So if the average purchase price on a repeat customer is $50 and they buy 10 times, that's $500. But that's only a percentage of your customer base, so multiply that out. And that becomes your average lifetime value of a customer. So take your one-time purchase value times the frequency percentage. So if it's 50% and they spend $100,000 with you, the value there is $50,000, right? Because it's only half of your base, okay? And then you take your recurring customer. So then if your other spends, let's say, X amount with you, but they do that 10 times over the course of their lifetime, multiply that out. and then multiply that by the percentage that is a recurring customer base. So for example, if 60% of your customer base was a one-time purchase, then that means 40% of your customer base, the opposite of 100, right, is your recurring customer base, right? And so then you multiply that out and you come up with a value number there. And when you've got those two value numbers, you add them together, and that's your total lifetime value. Does that make sense? So now that you have your average number that they will spend with you, the average customer, because some of them are going to be one time and some of them are going to be repeat. So you don't exactly know, but you're going to get a mix. So you take that number and then you have to determine, and this is where you have to get your CFO involved, but you have to determine of the 7,000 in your case, what percentage of that are you willing to give up towards acquisition? Is it $500? Is it 1,000 of that 7,000? That actually, 1,000 of 7,000 is probably high, right? So what is that number? I will tell you, it's not uncommon to be in the 5–10% range. So if you have $7,000 in your case, and you guys are willing to give up another 5% out of what you already spend to acquire that customer, you're at about $350, 700 half, $350. So $350 would be your max cost of customer acquisition. Does that make sense? And so in Rob, your case, you guys are an agency, so your average lifetime value is probably a lot higher than $7,000. Let's ballpark it, let's say 100, right? So then what percentage of the 100 are you guys willing to give up to acquire the customer? And if it is 5%, then that's $5,000. There's a $5,000 check you would be willing to theoretically write to obtain the $100,000 customer.
Thanks for watching. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below. And also in the description, we have a link to some free resources based on this Content Marketing Bootcamp that we ran. So if you want to learn more and get access to those assets that we delivered in the Content Marketing Bootcamp, go to the link below, fill out the form, and we'll send it off to you. Thanks again.